8:40 here. So you'll notice when there's a story that goes against the dominant narrative that the mainstream media wants to present, such as immigration is good, that problems among blacks are primarily the fault of evil white people, that we need more social welfare spending for poor people. When you have stories of, say, people using guns to protect themselves and their family, whenever you get stories that go against the media narrative, they always try to make, not always, they usually try to make the story as boring as possible. And so you see this with the New York Times presentation on its front page immediately after the Trump assassination, right? They crop out the American flag to try to make that stunning Trump photo as boring as possible. The media underplayed the Trump assassination story for the first 6 hours until they felt forced to use the term assassination. But when you get stories of illegal immigrants doing bad things, when you have a mass killing or mass terror event, they try to delay as long as possible the release of the name if it's someone who's Muslim, while if it's a white guy, they push it out there as quickly as possible. Right? They try not to show photos of accused criminals if they're black or if they're Muslim. So whenever you're reading a news story and you get this kind of spidey sense, hey, this should be a lot more exciting than it's being presented here. Like, what the hell is going on? Why is this thrilling, exciting, blood-curdling, adrenaline-pumping story being presented in such a boring way? That's because it goes against the media's favorite narrative, right? And so the mainstream media, as David Samuels points out in Tablet magazine today, largely operates as the propaganda arm of the Democratic Party. So they have certain favorite narratives that they prefer to spin, right? We have an America that's run by an elite class that has made an alliance with the underclass to squeeze the white Christian middle class, right? Elites can't rule a country if the country is united. Elites can only rule a country if the country is divided. So by playing up identity politics, you get a more divided country that allows the elites to rule. And you can only rule if you tamp down the power of narratives that disrupt current power arrangements. And so when you have exciting stories like the Trump assassination attempt that compel attention, you'll notice the mainstream media, for as long as they can, try to play it down, to minimize it, to reduce the emotional and visceral parts of the story to something that is just boring and blasé. Like, shots were heard, Trump's fine, right? Just drain it of meaning and purpose, right? So ties to traditional notions of family, community, nation, that's what tends to energize people. And that's why the news media is so careful to try to play down stories that appeal to traditional loyalties.